The news about Jesus was beginning to spread throughout Galilee. People from many towns wanted to know who he was. Meanwhile, fishermen worked beside the sea. For Simon Peter, it seemed like another ordinary day. The nets were coming back empty. The fishing had been difficult. Then, Jesus appeared on the shore. He quietly watched the fishermen. Everyone was tired, but Jesus had a plan. He stepped into one of the boats. A crowd gathered to hear him speak. Jesus began to teach. His words were unlike anything they had heard before. The people listened carefully. When he finished, Jesus spoke directly to Peter. He asked him to return to the water. Peter was astonished. They had been trying all night. Even so, Peter chose to obey.
The boat moved into deeper waters. The nets were lowered once again. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, something extraordinary began. Fish appeared everywhere. The nets quickly filled. They became so heavy, they started to tear. Another boat rushed over to help. Everyone was astonished. Peter realized he was standing before someone extraordinary. He fell to his knees before Jesus. Peter felt both awe and humility, but Jesus offered him a new purpose. He told Peter not to be afraid. His life was about to change forever. Jesus called him to follow. Peter left everything behind. Andrew accepted the call as well. A new journey was beginning. The first disciples followed Jesus.
Soon after, Jesus met two more fishermen. James and John were repairing their nets with their father. They worked carefully along the shore. Then Jesus called them. They listened closely. Without hesitation, they chose to follow him. The group of disciples was growing. People watched with great interest. Who was this man? Why were so many people following him? The answer would soon become clear. Jesus continued teaching. His words brought hope to many hearts. The sick came seeking help. Families came searching for answers. Crowds gathered wherever he went. The fame of Jesus continued to grow. Something remarkable was happening. Many believed God was at work, and they were right.
One day, Jesus was invited to a wedding. The celebration was taking place in Cana. Friends and family had gathered together. The atmosphere was full of celebration. Jesus arrived with his disciples. Everything seemed normal, but then a problem appeared. The wine had run out. The hosts became worried. The celebration was in danger of ending early. Mary noticed the situation. She spoke with Jesus. The servants waited for instructions. Jesus pointed toward large stone jars. He told them to fill the jars with water. The servants obeyed. The jars were filled to the very top. Then Jesus gave another command. The water was brought to the master of the feast. No one knew what was about to happen.
The master of the feast tasted the drink. The water had become wine, and it was excellent wine. Everyone was amazed. The disciples witnessed the miracle. Their faith grew stronger. Jesus had revealed his power. Yet this was only the beginning. News of the miracle spread quickly. Jesus continued his journey. Wherever he went, crowds gathered. People wanted to see him. Many came seeking healing. Families brought their loved ones. Hope filled the air. One day, friends carried a sick man to Jesus. The man had suffered for a long time. His friends believed a miracle was possible. Jesus looked at him with kindness. The crowd waited in silence. Jesus stretched out his hand. Strength returned to the man. The sickness was gone. The crowd could hardly believe their eyes. Many praised God. The news spread rapidly. Even more people came to see Jesus. He continued teaching the crowds. People shared stories about him everywhere. Hope spread throughout the region. The disciples watched it all unfold. They knew something extraordinary was happening. The number of followers continued to grow. Jesus helped everyone who came to him. His teachings touched countless hearts. Travelers carried his story to distant towns, but not everyone welcomed his message. Some began to question him. Even greater events were still to come, and the story of Jesus was only beginning.